everyone. It is Rachel, your health adventuress, and I just wanted to do a quick check-in because I have completed my 30 Days to Healthy Living Arbonne 2.0 detox. So I wanted to just do a quick wrap-up and say I definitely didn't do it perfectly. This time, between this time and the last time I did it, I definitely was more consistent and stuck to it more rigidly the first time I did it back in January, but it's okay. It's okay for a couple of reasons. First of all, because I think every time that you do something like this, you learn something, and I certainly have learned a bunch of new things and been reminded of some stuff. And also, I really don't think it's about doing it perfectly. I think it's about creating good habits and creating mindfulness and consciousness around what and how we eat. And I do feel that I achieved that. So let's see, what did I learn? Well, one thing I'll say first, what I did good and better this time than I did the first time is I really increased my water this time, which was something that last time I really had a hard time doing. You're supposed to drink at least half your body weight in water, and I certainly didn't achieve that the first time I did it. This time I came a lot closer. I'm not sure I did it every day, but I've gotten better and better and more mindful about adding more water to my life all the time. So I kind of always have one of these going now, and I think I said this in a different post. It really helps me to just buy cases of water and have it readily available. And even though I know that's not really environmentally sound because I'm using all these plastic bottles, at the same time, I will not sit there and fill up this thing in my refrigerator. It takes too long. I'm not going to do it. But if I grab one of these or two of these a day, it seems easier. So for right now, that's where I'm at with that. I also want to say that my skin is absolutely beautiful. I've been so happy with my skin. I've been completely blemish-free, which is just fantastic. And I think it has a lot to do with the detox that I did and some other things. I'm actually going to be doing a post really soon about adult acne. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if you're interested in that, or if you're just interested in getting posts. And if you have subscribed recently, thank you so much, because I noticed a couple more subscriptions and I appreciate that. I will say that I really got present to my emotional eating this time around. I just noticed that there were days when I was not feeling good emotionally, and that totally I go right into food. You know, it's a soother. I think it comes from a really, really young part of myself. It's from a long time ago. I think I used that as a soothing technique. And so I'm trying to really have compassion for myself and understanding, but also trying to sort of be able to head that off at the pass so that, A, I don't get myself to a state where I am feeling that way. But if I do, then recognizing in the moment, oh, that's where I'm at. And I've even gotten there before, but still been like, I don't care, but I'm acting out with food anyway. So sometimes it's not even that. It used to be that I wasn't even present to that. Then I got to a place where I was present to it or am present to it, but I still act out sometimes. And I guess that's a choice. And I guess sometimes, like, we're not perfect and that happens. And my acting out is not that crazy compared to what it used to be and what others might consider acting out, but it still isn't, it doesn't feel good to me. So then the other thing that I really learned and got present to this time was about getting back on, like forgiving yourself and moving on. And I also noticed how when I stray from my eating plan, it's easier to just do it every single day, and it's really difficult to get back on. So that is one thing. So for instance, I'll just be specific. Last Friday, nearly a week ago, I went to a birthday party and I decided that I was going to have some alcohol that night because it was a birthday party and I had known about it for a really long time. And I knew that it wasn't on my 30-day program, but I thought, you know what? Come on, I'll have one drink. Well, one drink turned into a couple drinks. So that's one thing. And then I also had the double whammy of I had made a beautiful homemade apple pie. And I was like, I can't make this pie and bring it here and serve it to everyone else and not have a piece myself. That just doesn't seem fair. It was with apples that my mother had sent me from New York. My parents are apple farmers, so I just felt like I can't do that. Like I have to participate and have some of this pie, and I did, and that was awesome. So I was okay with that night. I was like, that was kind of like it was a conscious decision. I made that decision, etc. Well, what happened? I took some pie home with me for my husband for the next day. But I took a lot home, and so the next day it was there, and it's funny how I don't think about it, and then the next day around my danger zone time, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, then after dinner, those are really my hours, starting around 4 o'clock, in between lunch and dinner, and then also after dinner, where I really have to watch it, and I've gotten present to that. I couldn't stop thinking about the pie because it was beautiful and it was in there and it was just calling my name. So I ended up having pie. And then I was like, well, it's a Saturday and, you know, I'm not doing anything else. Like, I can have some pie. It's a Saturday night. So I had pie Saturday night. Okay, not the worst thing in the world, but again, not on this eating plan. Well, the next day rolled around and I had a friend in from out of town and we were making dinner and she and my husband wanted to open a bottle of wine, and what do? I end up having a glass of wine. Now, the only reason I'm telling you this, and I'm kind of telling on myself, is just to illustrate how one thing leads to another, because on Sunday I was like, well, I already messed up Friday and Saturday. My friend's only in town, like, she's never in town, she just came from New Zealand, like, I'm going to have some wine. So I did. But then, you know what? Like, I felt like crap. Absolute crap. And it was really hard to get back on. And it's taken me almost a whole week to get back to being totally clean and on my plan. Because I get the physical craving, not only the psychological craving, but I get the physical craving of sugar. And any kind of sugar that I have and or alcohol really sets that off for me, and it takes me a while to get back on. So that's the price that I pay. Now the good news is I'm not going to go completely off this detox program because I've really decided that this is, for the most part, the way that I want to be eating in general, and I don't really want alcohol in my life on a regular basis at all because it just doesn't do anything good for me. It gives me a headache. It increases my sugar trigger. It's just not, I don't like it and I don't need it in my life. Now, every once in a while, absolutely. If something comes up or I go to a birthday party or something, yeah, that's fine. But I don't want it in my life on a regular basis, and certainly not sugar. So I am going to continue being gluten-free, sugar-free, alcohol-free for the most part, unless it's a special occasion. But the one thing I did bring back is my coffee, because I have to say, I just don't think on a regular basis it's that horrible. And I got a really awesome, some great coffee beans that are really, really high quality that I'll talk about in another post that I'm going to do coming up, that are very, very clean. And 1 cup of coffee in the morning is a beautiful thing for me. And I think it's okay. Like, I really am feeling like that is perfectly fine with me. And it's really all about, like, being honest with ourselves and what works for us. And for me, it works. It's fine. I can do a detox and cut it out for 30 days, and that's great. And I did do that. But the truth is, I like having it in my life. And as long as I'm not abusing it, I think that's perfectly fine. When it goes to that abuse where I'm like having too much of it and all that stuff, then it gets to be not a good thing. But 1 cup in the morning of high quality, clean beans, I think is okay. So that's where I'm at. So continuing on with my quest for vibrant health, there's a bunch of new stuff that's going to be happening. I'm going to be trying an exercise regimen. I'm going to be part of this. I may be a part of this group thing that's coming up. So I'm going to post about that if I decide to do it. I have a consultation on Sunday. I'm going to find out more about it, but I really need help. Like, that is such an arena of my life that has just become unmanageable for me, is getting myself consistent exercise, like good, high quality, heart rate increasing, strength building exercise. I really need help with that. And I've been just asking the universe for help with that. And this thing came into my life. It may or may not be for me. I don't know. But I'm going to try it, and I'm going to post about it. And I also am going to try to possibly get a few guests to come on and talk about their food issues / body issues / just women thriving issues and victories and challenges. Because what I'm realizing by doing this is that there are so many women my age going through really similar things, and we need to talk about it. I'm learning so much from talking to my smart women friends, and we have an ongoing conversation about all this stuff. So I'm going to bring it out into the open and just talk about it, because a lot of people aren't talking about it, and a lot of people are suffering in silence, and it doesn't need to be that way. So the challenges are real. But we can support each other and create victory together. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed so you don't miss anything. All right, thanks. Bye.